Hi, and welcome to week number 6 of our mystery block of the week for the summer. And this week we are doing the block called capital T. Your first order of business is going to be to piece your triangle squares for your corners, and then you're going to lay those out so you know pretty much how you want your colors to flow, because you cannot piece your flying geese units until you have that figured out. And once you get that done, then I'm going to show you how to do your flying geese units. Okay, so once you've figured out where you want your triangle squares to be, you're ready to do your flying geese units. And these flying geese units we are doing with a rectangle and 2 squares on the corners. You need to be sure you have your diagonal correct. Your background piece is going to be the larger triangle. So like we did last week, we're going to pull on our rectangle and find straight grain. Happens to be this way. And we want to match our grains. We pull here, there's no give. Pull here, there's give. So we want to have lengthwise to lengthwise. We're going to put that there. Again, lengthwise to lengthwise, pull and pull. Now you can do one of 2 things. You can draw a diagonal line from corner to corner and then stitch on that diagonal line, trim 1/4 of an inch away. But again, my new favorite tool is a folded corner clipper. And what I'm doing here is this is a 2-inch square that I have. I'm lining up my 2-inch line. This diagonal is actually the stitching line. This is my seam allowance. So I have 1/4 of an inch seam here. I'm going to trim this. Trim again, lining up that 2-inch line. And trim. And then I'll take that to the sewing machine and I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch seam. Once I have that sewn, this is what we're going to be looking like. Then I will take my other square that goes on the other corner. Again, I want to pull and be sure that I have lengthwise grain. And again, pull, pull, lengthwise grain. And I will go back and lay my 2-inch line down. Again, I need my diagonal to be going this way, so I'll trim here and then I'm ready to sew. When I get done sewing that, I have 2 flying geese units that look the same. My color is matching from here to here, here to here, and then I will sew those 2 together to give me 1 flying geese unit of 2 sewn together. This should measure 3.5. It will match to a triangle square that is 3.5. Your center is 3.5. So I'm going to go finish sewing everything together and then we'll show you the finished block. Okay, so now we have our block done. It should measure 9.5 inches. Something you want to be aware of after you do this. With these seams here, we have them pressed in going away from this point, but we have points here and a point here on these seams. If you've left enough room right here, you can press back against this seam and still have your point. If you haven't, what you might want to consider doing is actually pressing that seam open in the back. I know typically we don't do that, but there isn't any quilt police, so it's okay if you want to do that. So you decide what you need to do, but that can help you get nice sharp points. We'll see you next week. Thanks. Bye.